You're listening to 92.5 The Bear, the Intern show. You can listen to us on our YouTube site at 92.5 The Bear, KBRE. And I'm Evan.
And I'm Jihad.
Today's topics, we're going to go ahead and start with the bad news first and work our way to the good news. X Games snowmobile rider Caleb Moore just passed away this morning in the hospital. It's been the first X Games death this year. It's been a while since anything like that has happened. Apparently, I saw the crash myself, and I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, he'll get up from that.
Yeah.
You know, he probably doesn't even have a broken bone because the crash wasn't necessarily too bad. But I guess he was taken to the hospital after getting a concussion. Once he was there, he was back in consciousness, and then after that, he actually had a heart condition that they found out about. Yeah, he died. He had internal bleeding.
That's a crazy way to die. Just like everybody saw the way he looked after he crashed.
Yeah.
You know, you could tell he was out of it. He had a concussion. They came with a diagnosis. It's a concussion. He had a concussion. But I didn't think it would go that far and lead to his death.
Yeah.
With the heart thing.
The craziest part about this is I was watching my Golden State Warriors game, and after was the X Games, and I just didn't turn off the TV. I was busy working on homework or something. And I watched that crash, and I didn't think anything of it. And then I found out today that he passed away at only 25 years old, and I was just shocked because I saw that without knowing any. I thought it was just
and his brother competed in the same competition too.
Yeah. So
and he broke his pelvis. So
yeah.
It's a bad weekend for a family.
Yeah, bad weekend for any sports player.
Yeah.
You don't expect to die from your sport, but that's why it's dangerous, and all vehicles are dangerous.
Yep.
And it happens, but sad story there. But we'll be getting into some better, more cheery news here in the near future. You're listening to the Intern show on 92.5 The Bear. I'm Evan.
I'm Jihad.
I'm Evan.
And I'm Jihad.
You're listening to 92.5 The Bear, the Intern show. We just heard some sad news about that X Game rider, snowmobile rider who passed away, but on to some other sports news. Hopefully no deaths in this game. The Super Bowl 47 is going to be played this Sunday. We're going to talk about our predictions and what we think it's going to be like and our feelings towards the Super Bowl and everything going around in the NFL media. It's the season's end, so what do you think, John?
Well, my heart is telling me the Ravens because of Ray Lewis mostly. That's the only reason why I'm probably going for the Ravens. But I have knowledge about the game of football, so my best guess would be the 49ers. Easily.
The 49ers winning, wow.
Easily.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. These are the two teams I really wish weren't in the Super Bowl. It's nice to see some Niners fans around town happy and stuff, but I just hate when the Niners fans, not all of them, most of them are real fans, but I just hate seeing all the bandwagoners come out and start wearing their 49ers stuff out of nowhere. It just gives your team and real fans a bad name. And I hate the Ravens because I'm a Steelers fan, but at the same time, I don't want the 49ers to get their 6th ring. I want my Steelers to be the only team with that kind of honor. Very interesting. The game's in New Orleans. Our buddy Andre is a Saints fan in here. Say what's up, Andre. You might not be able to hear him, but he is a Saints fan. And so my prediction is that the 49ers going to lose by a field goal. I think the Ravens will win this game. I don't really know what to expect from this game. These teams never play each other. They played last year once. Yeah, there's a whole lot of talk in the media about Ray Lewis and his deer antler spray.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. He's an overrated linebacker. Jihad thinks he's the best.
You are seriously unjudged right now to think that he's overrated. To say
no, he is very overrated.
Lewis is not overrated.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, okay. Just end the topic now, please. You telling me Ray Lewis? You know what? We'll get to this.
All right. I'm Evan,
and I'm Jihad.
You're listening to 92.5 The Bear, the Intern show. I'm Evan.
And I'm Jihad.
You're listening to 92.5 The Bear, the Intern show. Right now, we're going to be getting into some basketball action here. Rudy Gay was traded to the Toronto Raptors in a 6-man trade just the other day. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it wasn't really the 3 teams it was a 3-team trade, but I don't think nobody won.
You don't think anyone won the trade?
Nobody won.
I think
really because look, okay, the Raptors got Rudy Gay.
I think the Raptors.
They're not gonna make. He's gonna leave in 2 years. He only got 2 years left on his contract. They're not gonna be a playoff team next year. I can guarantee you that. Memphis Grizzlies, they just traded away one of their big 3 So technically, they're not a championship level team no more. And the Detroit Pistons, they probably the only team that wins like a little bit because they got Jose Calderon. That's about it. Nobody else like wins.
I think the Raptors win with Rudy Gay. He's the leading scorer for the Grizzlies. I know the Grizzlies are still going to be a good team in the West with Zach Randolph and not Pau Gasol, but Marc Gasol, his brother. I don't think they're going to be as high caliber as you said, so I guess the Raptors win in this situation. A lot of Toronto fans want Andre Bargnani out as well, and the Raptors are trying to pursue Brandon Jennings, which should be very interesting. I don't know if they'll get him or not, but that's what the Toronto News is talking about a whole lot this week. And in other NBA news, we wanted to talk about Reggie Evans' comments to LeBron James and the Miami Heat before their game yesterday against the Nets.
Well, he basically just said, "Hey, you're a championship team that played in a lockout season, so you're not really champions." And the last champions were really the Dallas Mavericks. To say that another team is not the champions and they won the championship it's just like a slap in the face. And it's like three people you don't want to piss off when you're about to play them the next night. Those three people are Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James. Those are three people you don't want to piss off before you play them because they're gonna just like torment you like the rest of the game. So, you know.
Well, yeah, Reggie Evans was on the Nets. He was held to 0 points last night, which is kind of embarrassing. I know you're a Miami Heat fan, Jihad,
Yep,
but
I loved it.
Well, basically the story that I heard is that Reggie Evans was asked a question about what is it like to play the former NBA champions, and he said, "Oh, they're not NBA champions. They won in a lockout season, so it meant nothing."
Yeah.
And so, you know, a lot of people took offense to that. A lot of people probably agreed with it too. Maybe like 15% of people agreed with it. I don't. I think it's.
And he also said that there's no difference between LeBron James. He said there's no difference between Darren Williams and Joe Johnson with LeBron James. It's like he compared LeBron James to Joe Johnson.
Yeah.
How in the world did you get that? And then to compare LeBron to Joe Johnson is like an insult.
Yeah, I mean Joe Johnson's a good player, but yeah,
nowhere
LeBron
near.
is on a whole nother stage. Yeah, so that's all we have about NBA talk. I'm Evan.
And I'm Jihad.
And stay tuned for next break. We have some awesome news ahead. 92.5 The Bear, The Intern Show. I'm Evan.
And I'm Jihad.
You're listening to 92.5 The Bear, The Intern Show. And you know, every week we fill you in with news on movies that are coming out this week. This week we have a Sylvester Stallone movie, Bullet to the Head. I'm a big Sylvester Stallone fan. I don't think I'll be seeing this one though. It looks pretty good. Andre over there is cheering. He likes the Sylvester Stallone movies. You know, I don't know. Ever since, Expendables 2 was really, really good, and it had a lot of good action heroes in it. And I love a lot of the Rocky movies and things like that. But I don't know if I'm going to see this movie. It looks almost exactly like the Expendables, but with not as good of a cast. I'm sure there's more story behind it.
Is it basically the same old like action film with like Sylvester Stallone, the same storyline basically?
Yeah, it's kind of like... Sort of, yeah. It's not a series or anything. It's not like the Die Hard movies.
Yeah.
I rewatched all the Die Hard movies this past weekend. February 14th, the new Die Hard movie comes out, and I had never seen the Die Hard movies before. I was actually in the theater watching a commercial, and she pointed out, she said, "Have you seen those before?" And I said no, and she said, "You have to watch them." So 25 years ago was when the first one was made in 1988. Bruce Willis still had hair. And so I watched all 4 of those movies, and I can't wait for this next one that's coming out on February 14th. But we're talking about movies that are coming out this week. The next movie is Warm Bodies, which
yes, it looks.
I don't know. It's debatable.
It's like
it looks.
It's
good.
like a parody movie. Like it makes fun of zombie movies, but it's not really making fun of it. It's just saying.
It looks like The Walking Dead meets a sappy love story.
Well, okay, let me just tell you the story. Okay, basically there are zombies that rule the town now. They're zombies, okay, zombies, and there's regular people too. But one zombie, he can turn back into a human. He's turning back into a human like slowly though. And it's basically that's what all zombies are doing. He's gaining
emotions
his
and
emotions
senses
and stuff like that back. And basically that's what the whole movie's about. But it's pretty cool. It's fun.
Yeah, the director who directed that movie has also made pretty good movies in the past.
It's pretty good, so you should go and watch it. Should be a good movie.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. There's already so many great movies that already came out that I haven't seen yet that I'm going to go see. And then next week and the week after have a ton of other good movies coming out. So I think I'll skip these two movies this week, Bullet to the Head and Warm Bodies, but to a lot of people, those are some great movies. So yeah, go check them out at any of the Merced theaters that are playing them, either the mall or downtown. And I'm Evan.
And I'm Jihad.
And you're listening to 92.5 The Bear, the Intern Show.